James, honey, did something happen to you? After we got separated in that long hallway? Are you confusing me with someone else?
Silent Hill 2, the game that defined psychological horror, set a new bar for storytelling in gaming and ironically doomed its own franchise. You see, Silent Hill 2 is such a masterpiece that every other game in the series would forever be compared to it, often unfairly. And in that way, it kinda ruined Silent Hill. Silent Hill 2 wasn't just a horror game, it was an experience. It threw away the cult-centric story of the first game and instead dove deep into psychological horror. It was intimate, personal, and terrifying in a way that no other game had managed before. From the moment James steps into Silent Hill, we are not just dealing with monsters and fog, we're dealing with grief, guilt, and a broken mind.
Mary?
James.
Forgive me.
I told you that I wanted to die, James. I wanted the pain to end.
That's why I did it, honey. I just couldn't watch you suffer. No. That's not true. You also said you didn't want to die. The truth is, I hated you. I wanted you out of the way. I wanted my life back.
James, if that were true, then why do you look so sad?
Mary?
James. Please. Please do something for me. Go on with your life.
Every single element, from the soundtrack to the level design to disturbing creature symbolism, worked in perfect harmony to tell James' tragic story. It wasn't just about surviving, it was about uncovering an emotional nightmare. And here's the problem: how do you follow that up? The answer is you can't. It's impossible. Every Silent Hill game that came after Silent Hill 2 lived in its shadows. Silent Hill 3 was great, but it was a direct sequel to the first game and had a more straightforward horror approach. And while it was praised, you'd always hear, well, it's not Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 4, The Room, dared to do something different. A new protagonist, a new setting, new mechanics, and yet, what did people say? It's not Silent Hill 2. Then we get to the later games. We got Origins, Homecoming, Downpour, each trying desperately to recapture the magic, either by leaning into the psychological horror or by shoving in Pyramid Head because, well, Silent Hill 2 had Pyramid Head. But none of them could escape the comparison.
Mary.
And that's the real tragedy. Silent Hill 2 was so good that it became a curse for the franchise. Instead of letting each new entry carve out its own identity, they were always held to the impossible standard of James Sunderland's descent into madness. Even worse, Silent Hill's 2 success made the higher-ups think all you needed was fog, sad people, and Pyramid Head to make a Silent Hill game. And that's how we got Silent Hill Homecoming treating Pyramid Head like a generic slasher villain instead of a monster tied to James' specific guilt. The deeper issue is that fans and critics alike became so obsessed with Silent Hill 2 and they made it the definitive formula for any Silent Hill game. But Silent Hill was never supposed to be one thing. It was about deeply personal horror, shifting depending on the protagonist's fear and struggles. Instead, we got sequels that either tried to be Silent Hill 2 again, or missed the point entirely. So, did Silent Hill 2 ruin the franchise? Well, it's complicated. It's not the game's fault that it was too good, but its success created a never-ending cycle of comparison that no other Silent Hill game could escape. And now, with Silent Hill 2 Remake out, we're back to square one. Instead of looking forward, we're looking back yet again at Silent Hill 2. So maybe, just maybe, the best thing that could happen to Silent Hill is for us to finally stop chasing the ghost of James Sunderland.
Mary, you look so peaceful.